from actually the next thing I have to bring, the moon in Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn. It's crossed Pluto in the last 24 hours. And so the emotional commitment is actually the Capricorn energy. That's where we're emotionally committing there. And what it allows us to do is accept and receive what the universe has to tell us. And the universe is always full of surprises, by the way. Never thought I'd be in Texas. What a surprise. So there's always a fascinating surprise element to your story, too. And that's the fun part. That's the fun part. So today, emotions are conservative in Capricorn. And we're all doing a lot of planning today emotionally. We're all planning where we want to be next emotionally. By the way, the moon will be opposing Venus during the day. And Venus is where we're accepting and receiving. So we're accepting and receiving emotions from the Cancer energy, but we're kind of like sculpting them in the Capricorn energy. So we're really kind of pulling up our feelings and sculpting them. To help you out today, I've released a new Astro 303. This is the episode of how the sun and moon interact in your chart. So the Astro 101 series, which is the architecture of incarnation is what I call it, is up to the 300s, but you can actually start at the beginning at the 100s. If you want to learn astrology, grab your chart, go watch these little 7-minute segments, and you will learn so much about yourself. This is available on the mothership, of course, and also in our YouTube playlists, Astro 303, How the Sun and Moon Interact. So let's look at our planet soup. What is the universe or God cooking up for us today? Well, we have, like I said, the sun at step 16. It goes to step 16 a little bit later in the day, but when it does, Neptune clicks in. That is our ability to listen to higher self, our ability to be self-compassionate. But today the sun is in a beautiful stellium with Mercury and Black Lilith. So Mercury means that our mind is on board with our heart. The sun and Mercury together means our mind is on board with our heart. And when our mind and our heart are on board, that's when we can go forward, because it's really the mind that's the only thing technically holding on to things. I'm using my frame here. Okay? A little pantomime. And this stellium means that we're going to be changing 3 things at once: our heart, our mind, and our reaction to our past life pain, which is Black Lilith. And Black Lilith is at step 17, which means it's time to decide what we don't want to have happen again. So here I am in my relationship, for instance. I'm like, okay, definitely all the old relationships came up with Black Lilith, and I'm like, I don't want that to happen again, or that, or that, or that, right? So you'll have to have that today, and your mind will be there. And this is beautiful. Like Mercury and the sun are going to hold hands and skip together over Black Lilith during a full moon through the weekend. How's that for astrology in action? Now today, the moon and Pluto have crossed in the last 24 hours, and that means we're letting go of old emotional attachments to the way things used to be. And that might have been like you used to go hit the bottle, or you used to go hit the gym, or you used to go hit someone else. But now you can't do those things. We must emotionally have different rules for ourselves. And so today we're operating with different rules, healthy rules, because it was step 11. And like I said, the moon is opposing Venus, so we're kind of finessing the giving and receiving of our emotional energy with others. And it's the moon in Capricorn that actually puts a stop to things. So moon in Capricorn stops energy, actually. Venus is at step 25. And for those who know your VQ, today is a 2VQ25 day. 2VQ25 day. On Sunday, we have a full moon. It will be at step 18. This full moon will be a very aggressive full moon, and basically is the aggressive, that's my battery warning. It's the aggressive full moon in the sense that this will be the final pulling apart after everyone has kind of made these last-minute emotional decisions in the next 36 hours. And I'll be taping the weekend here right around the corner, now that I've kind of settled out of a hotel for a few minutes, so that you guys have it ahead of time. And I hope to be working ahead of time from this point on. Thank you for your patience with me. So the full moon will be in step 18, and what we're doing right now is making final emotional decisions before we kind of actually see the universe follow through on these things, where things actually happen and follow through. So Saturn is the final commitment, I think. Saturn in Scorpio is direct, and it moves to step 17. Step 17 is I love and I trust what I sense. What are we doing today? We're sensing stuff. What are we doing it for? So that we can love and trust what we sense, that these are the right emotional boundaries. And with Saturn in Scorpio, you are deciding that you want to go this way. You want to commit to this way. And in these Zodiac weather here around the corner, I'm going to talk about where Saturn is for each of the 12 steps, basically 11 steps in one secret step to serious joy. So today we are really making emotional decisions that is about committing to an emotional future. It's about committing to a future that doesn't repeat the past. It's about aligning our minds and our hearts to that cause. and it's ready, set, go, because the full moon at 18 degrees, which is an action-based degree, the full moon on Sunday is basically the universe or God saying, and so it is, and pushing you down the water slide. And from that part, it will be a water slide. Now, this is one of the major Megascope monthly dates this weekend. So if you bought or rented a Megascope monthly, definitely want to watch this one, because it's the one before we kind of push down and we do it. All right, so that brings us to our Sensei sunrise. Today it's really about sensing out, first finding your peace, like I said, and in that peace, listening to what God's been telling you over and over again. The signs should be there. Everyone gets their signs. They're in dreams, you know. But today you really sense and say, yes, this is the way. Like, I think I'll be in Texas, right? I think this is the place for me. It's not an accident. I had a country hat on in the Serious Joy Farm just a month ago. And I didn't know back then how funny. So we sense, because everything comes to this climax, we sense this is right. This is it. Like, only you know what you sense. Only you know why you sense it. And that's why you're in the Sensei sunrise right now, to sense that truth. I'm here to affirm, yes, if you sense it, it's true. My life is proving it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Go for it. Follow your heart. It's happening. After you find that sense, you must make that emotional commitment, like, emotional commitment to the change that I am preparing to make. Emotional commitment to the consequences of what others will think or feel. Especially us light workers and light walkers, we are so concerned about other people's reaction. That's one thing I'm being very careful to, is to put my feelings and my relationship first, and to put my family first. And you ought to also, my friend. So today it's about sensing what's right, and then emotionally understanding what those limits are, because we're going to commit to those limits in 24 hours. So meditate it through the night, meditate it through your sleep if you have to, and then have your answer by morning. And we'll talk about that in the weekend forecast. So I do want to remind you that if you'd like to get a reading with me, and if you'd like me to apply the same math I applied to my own love story, and I was totally right about when my partner came, my super partner, then this is the time. Come to soulmart.me. If you buy a 1-hour reading right now, you can get a 30-minute free follow-up, and that's available at soulmart.me. If you don't have a Megascope or haven't rented a Megascope yet, they're super affordable. You can rent them on any HTML5 device, and they will outline this weekend. There are still 3 or 3.5 weeks of a lot of drama and change with the Sun in Leo and moving into Virgo, making it reality. All that and more at soulmart.me. Now let's move on to the astro weather, or zodiac weather, excuse me, in the steps of Serious Joy, starting with our secret step, step 0, which is Scorpio, I protect. The Scorpios, cloudy and pensive today. But the Saturn decision and commitment is, it's time to commit to your willpower. It's time to commit to what your ego is in Scorpio 2.0. It's time to commit to everything you've been working on for a year and a half. Scorpios are coming out with a lot of power. The Leos, cloudy and hyper-aware today, but the Leos are making a strong emotional commitment to home and family. That's true, I'm a Leo rising. The Cancers, cloudy and sentimental today. They are making a commitment to what their heart wants, and or a creative project, or a new child, another child, a new child. Cancer, a new child. Step 3, the Sagittariuses, cloudy and productive today. They are actually committing to a new inner faith and their spiritual calling. So they're all feeling kind of spiritually called. The trumpets are kind of blowing for them inside their hearts. Step 4s, the Aquariuses, cloudy and spiritual today, but they are making a big commitment to their career and legacy in this whole change. The Gemini, step 5s, cloudy and quite vulnerable today. Bugs beating me up out here. They are committed to health and lifestyle, to a new health and to a new way of living in the moment. The step 6 Libras, cloudy, nesting, and resting today. But they are committing to a finance, a level of what they're worth, and something they want to manifest. The Pisces, step 7, cloudy and social today. So they're cloudy, but they're out there in the world. They're committing to a particular belief they have and a life purpose they believe in. The Capricorn, step 8s, cloudy but feeling rather cool. They are committing to a social placement of where they feel they belong and a place of at a certain friendship level. The Aries, step 9s, cloudy and professional today. They are committing to personal changes within themselves, and they may even be committing to some sort of a sex life or a lover. So the Aries is about to go wow, wow. Step 10s, the Tauruses, cloudy and passionate today. They are committing to relationships and marriage. I don't make this shift up, folks, and I didn't plan it this way. It just happened. I'm really right on the mark here. Step 11s, the Virgos, cloudy and childlike, and they are committing to a new attitude. And for the messenger Virgos and the healer Virgos, it's time for your message to go forward. It's time to commit to that message to go forward. Thank you so much, folks. Now, remember, if you're on YouTube, please be so kind and subscribe. And if you'd like to come on down and learn about all my relationship changes, they're at soulgarden.me, where you can like us and follow us on Facebook. And of course, don't forget to come down to the famous soulgarden.tv, the mothership of everyone's dreams. It is. It's a really beautiful site. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you for being patient with me in this changing camera environment. And thanks for all the wonderful comments. People say they like this new format. Well, I'll let you know that when I get back to Los Angeles, I'll be kind of doing a little bit of each of the formats together. I've been kind of testing all of this, really. And you guys have been letting me know what you like, and that's great. I want to be a pleasing Leo rising. And let me also say to you this. Time to follow your heart. I now have evidence in my life that it is actually working and true. So let me be the first to say, go for it. It looks like this jackpot is paying off. I'll see you in the weekend forecast. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be. Whoop.